Welcome to this week's show. I'm sitting here with my co-host T. How you doing this week, T?
I'm doing good, Jay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Well, can we safely say that having 10 films this year should be considered the Dark Knight rule? In essence, they screwed up so bad last year in not nominating a film that everybody saw and that was loved and critically acclaimed that they had to correct the problem because they were seeming outdated. Do you think that's what this was this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, had The Dark Knight been up for an Oscar, they would have had a lot more viewers watching the Oscars at that point in time. Unfortunately, this year, what we have added is really stuff like District 9, Inglourious Bastards, The Blind Side, even, I would say. Definitely Up, which does not belong in the Best Picture category at all. I mean, they really just filled this category with a bunch of nonsense just to fill it up. And again, as I say, going back to the problem is with the Academy itself. It's with the voters in the Academy.
I agree, and I think District 9 is a good film. I have my problems with it. A lot of people loved it. Some people didn't like it. I don't think it was as good as Star Trek. I think having left Star Trek out of this was a huge mistake by the Academy. Another film that a lot of people saw and could have had a rooting interest for and would have drove them to watch the Oscar telecast. But now, once again, you get people that sneer at it and say they're old-fashioned. How do you feel about Star Trek being totally left out, really, of any sort of recognition?
With 10 Best Picture nominees, it absolutely deserves to be in there. I think Up should be bumped. Star Trek should be in there. I mean, if not, I mean, seriously, A Serious Man, An Education, are these Oscar nominee movies?
Nobody saw them, and I would like to also talk about a film that was criminally underrated this year was Public Enemies, the Michael Mann, Johnny Depp film. That the fact of the matter is, it's an Oscar-worthy film in a lot of categories, and to not even be nominated is absolutely mind-blowing, especially when you have a film, not to hark on it, but of the caliber of District 9 and the such. How do you feel about the Public Enemies debacle? Were you a fan of this film?
Absolutely, I loved Public Enemies. Michael Mann is definitely up there with Scorsese, one of the best directors out there right now.
And to have a directing category this year that would have included Tarantino, that would have had James Cameron and Michael Mann in it, that's three great, possibly, arguably three of our top 10 great living directors in the Oscar race would have been even more ratings. Best original material produced for the screen. This is the category a lot of times where you see odd films or offbeat films that don't get the recognition that you feel that they should have gotten rightly deserved for. I think Tarantino has the edge in that category. I don't know how you feel about the other films, but it almost seems like that's a category where they want to give something to Tarantino because it might be a short night for Inglourious Bastards, quite honestly.
You might be right about that. Well, Up, I think, is written incredibly well, and also The Messenger. The Hurt Locker might have a chance at it, but I really think that in this category, Inglourious Bastards definitely has the win.
Do you feel it's going to be a flip-flop that whoever gets Best Director doesn't get Best Picture and vice versa? Or do you feel one's going to claim the sweeps?
I doubt that just because of the way the Academy votes. Honestly, I'm sure Best Director really goes to The Hurt Locker, Catherine Bigelow. She's a great director.
And I would like to see Catherine Bigelow win because I don't want to see an embarrassingly hammy version of James Cameron acceptance speech. I mean, if they try to cut this man off in 45 seconds, he will buy a theater and talk for as long as he wants.
If we're adding 5 extra nominations to the Best Picture category, why aren't we seeing movies like Star Trek? Why aren't we seeing movies like Fast and Furious 4? Why aren't we seeing these films? But to get back to the days when Gladiator won Best Picture, when a movie was big that won.
There's no clear definition of what Best Picture is. Is it the best artistic film of the year? Is it the biggest audience pleaser of the year? I mean, why isn't Best Picture the best films? They have a cinema score poll that they conduct on opening nights throughout the country. All studios do it with a grade. Why the hell aren't they basing it on that?
I completely agree with you. I think that they should take away the Best Picture nomination from the Academy and put it towards what makes the most amount of money, what people go to see. and then the Academy should vote on those movies. I think, to be fair, they try to allow everyone to vote on Best Picture nominations and whatnot, but unfortunately what we wind up with are movies that make absolutely no money, that no one has seen, no one cares about, no one wants to see these things. And these are what's up for Best Picture. It's no wonder no one is watching the Academy Awards.
And that should, be the title of it. Who is watching the Academy Awards? And the statistics say fewer and fewer people each year. And that's just the fact of the matter. And that's why they've implemented all these changes. And it should be interesting when the numbers come in, how big the audience is. In a year when the Super Bowl attracted the largest television audience in history, how many people will the Academy Awards attract?